magical star beings, this is Psychic Siren Tara and welcome to the channel. In today's reading we're going to be taking a look at what is currently being said about you by people, by others, okay? So please be aware this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest, and please also note what people say about you doesn't determine your character, doesn't determine who you are. Okay, this is kind of just for entertainment purposes, for just juicy messages. So let's go ahead and show you crystals for each pile. So for pile number 1, we have red cat's eye. For pile number 2, we have green aventurine. And for pile number 3, we have Howlite. So go ahead and pick a pile. I'm going to give you a few seconds. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. But of course, if you're drawn to more than one pile, always trust your intuition because there may be more messages there for you. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this red cat's eye heart, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what is currently being said about you. So the card you chose is Divine Feminine. It says magnetic and receptive power, and it is card number 7. So what is currently being said about you? I feel like a lot of what people talk about are more the surface level things, mainly to do with the way that you look. That's coming through very strongly. Regardless of your gender, you're coming through where people think you're quite attractive and magnetic. This kind of gives me Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups energy, like a mixture of both, if that makes sense. And you know, this type of energy of Jupiter, of you being very lucky as well. Even if you don't see so in your own life, this is just people's perspectives of you, you know, from the outside in. They don't really see the challenges you go through, the little daily hurdles you go through. So people, you know, are talking and perceiving you to be very lucky right now. People are talking about the way that you look, thinking you're very sexy, very magnetic, especially with the crystal you chose. This gives me a vibrant, sensual energy, but also that you're very in touch with your heart. People may talk about you right now as if you're a very romantic soul, but also very in touch with your divine feminine energy, with your sensuality, you know, with your confidence as well. People may think that you look very confident in yourself right now and that you look very hot. Like, I'm getting, if you post on social media, people could talk about that and really like the pictures or the videos you're posting. People are talking right now about you kind of being someone that speaks with this very joyful and cheerful attitude to the world. You know, like, it's kind of giving me this very cheerful vibe, kind of like, I don't know if this is the best example to give, but it kind of reminds me of SpongeBob, like that very cheerful attitude and energy. So people see you as a very positive person overall, and that's what they're currently talking about, and how you are inspiring a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people talk about how they're inspired by you in some way, by the things that you do, by your talents. People think you have a lot of star qualities, and people think that they love your voice and they love to communicate with you, that communication is always fun with you. That's what people talk about. And I feel like the gossip on you remains surface level from this card, but we'll see as we get deeper into your reading what other cards show up. But Yeah, I'm also getting people like your body. People like to talk to you, communicate with you. They think you're very fun to be around, very cheerful, very vibrant and colorful. And I get that a lot of people are thinking you have this very romantic essence, this very hopeless romantic energy to you, where maybe if you are in a relationship, people could talk about your relationship or your love life, or if you're dating or if you're single, people could talk about that. Um, just depending on where you are at in your love life, people will talk about. That's what I'm seeing. So you will only know. I can't really tell you because it depends on who watches this. I'm also seeing people talk about you in a way where you like to romanticize your life. Kind of reminds me of the Empress energy, like you seeing the beauty within everything. People may say a lot that they like the way you compliment them. If you're someone that gives out a lot of compliments, or they like the generosity you have, because I see a generosity here and you having a big heart, but then also the sensual, sexy side. And as much as people are inspired by you, you'll also have some that are a little bit jealous and talk about you in a way where they kind of try to downplay how beautiful and glamorous you look, I hear, or they'll kind of just talk about you in a very negative way, but it's coming from a place of envy. But most of it is surface level things like, I don't know. I don't exactly know what to say because I think it would be different for all of you. But let's say, for example, you post a picture and they're very envious of the way that you look and they're like, oh, they don't even look that pretty. It's like that type of energy. Or let's say you get a new partner. Oh, I dated that person 2 years ago. It's like that type of petty energy I see here, but I just see it a small bit, not always. Not in every person, just a small percentage of people are like that towards you in terms of what they're saying. So let's go ahead and add the rest of your cards. We're going to use the Priestess of Light Oracle deck first. So, spirit guides on my pile number ones. What are people currently saying about them? We have Calming the Waters with Peaceful Self-Regulation, card number 3. I was talking about you having Empress energy. 3, the Empress is card 3. And I was talking about Queen of Cups energy, and this card does also remind me of the Queen of Cups with Calming the Waters. So, people could talk about you being someone very in touch with your emotions, very in touch with your intuition as well, with the moon in the background. You're not afraid to express your emotions since she has a dress that's very transparent. It's a little bit see-through. People talk about you being an open book. People talk about you being someone very calming with a very calming and healing vibe to you. Maybe they don't say the word vibe, I mean healing, but maybe they say like, oh, I really like pile number one's vibe. They have this very calm demeanor to them, which I like. People say you're a very peaceful person and that even in moments where you should be angry or where you should have told that person like F you, like you didn't. So people say they really like your character because what you see is what you get. There is no fakeness. There is no, underlying things that are coming to the surface, if you get what I mean, like Seven of Swords energy. There's none of that. People feel like you're very honest and truthful and you're an open book. And people also feel in their communication when they're talking about you, they talk about you having a lot of leadership qualities or skills or somewhat being a trendsetter and having, like a lot of creativity or having influence over people in some way, even if you try not to. So there's something about you being also very humble, but still standing out in a way, still having a lot of people notice your beauty or your attractiveness or your handsomeness, depending on who's watching. And people say that even in moments where there's highly stressful situations, you know how to self-regulate and calm yourself down. So we have innovation, new creations. I love that. That's exactly what I talked about. And I just pulled the card from the deck. I didn't look at it, I promise. It's card number 20. So you have a lot of creative energy, maybe in the way that you dress, maybe in, maybe you're actually creative and you actually do creative things, or maybe you're someone that um expresses yourself a lot through the things that you like to do through your career. Maybe you have a lot of creative, innovative ideas. That's something coming through. People also say that you're someone that is very unique, like you think of things no one else would usually think of. And that's kind of what I'm getting from that card. Some of you may have an amazing sense of fashion style, and the things you think of is just so unique to you in terms of your creativity or your ideas. People at work could also talk about this if you work or if you're at school, something like that. We have opening heart with deep connections and water blessings at the back of the deck. So now we're going to use the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. So spirit guides of my, we have the Judgment card. So I'm getting from this card, people that do talk smack about you, where it's like uncalled for, they do get karma at the end of the day, or people do end up judging them like, that's not a good look on you to be talking about pile number ones like that. Do you get what I mean? Like people will see the bitterness or the arrogance in them or the envy in them. That's what I'm really getting from that card. But with the Judgment card, overall, these people look very happy. They look like they're celebrating something. So people feel like and talk about you being someone very nice to party with or go out with or do certain things with, travel with, do whatever fun thing with. It's like people always have a good and a fun time with you. People may speak a lot about certain memories they have with you where they had a lot of fun with you and where it was like a big laugh. Do you get what I mean? Like people may tell stories where you were in there and like it was just a really fun time overall, or maybe something happened and it was really funny even though it wasn't really good at first. It kind of gives me that vibe. People also talk about your spirituality because the Judgment card, has that connection to the divine. People may talk about that or you being religious or something along those lines. I'm getting people talk about you as if you're also really free-spirited. We have the King of Wands. So creativity is coming through again, that leadership energy is coming through again. People talk a lot about you being someone very optimistic since this King of Wands is holding a sunflower. I see sunflowers as very optimistic, very cheerful. Like I said before, you're someone that looks at the brighter side of things, even in challenging moments. And I'm getting combined with this, like how I spoke about people saying, oh, I had this memory with pile number one and we did this crazy thing together and, we should have maybe had this challenge, but then they kind of got us out of it and they told us, like be optimistic. Don't worry about it or something like that. Like it gives me that vibe even. Or maybe you're that type of friend where someone's worrying, you just know the right things to say to uplift them and inspire them. People do talk about you being very inspiring and being someone that really stands out, embodying that very fiery, passionate energy, but also people talk about you putting your heart in everything you do, putting your heart in all your passions, your blood, sweat, and tears, but most importantly, your heart. Like when you really put in effort towards something, you're going to go towards it and nothing's going to stop you. You have this very determined energy. So this is what people talk about. So we have the King of Cups. So again, this energy of emotional balance, this energy of you calming yourself down even in stressful situations. And this King of Cups specifically has a very playful energy to him because he's showing his backside. It gives me a very playful vibe, like um even the vibe I said before of like you being someone very transparent and open, and you're like an open book. What you see is what you get. That's how people talk about you currently. We have the Two of Cups again, romantic soul. People could talk about your love life. If you're in a relationship, people could talk about how in love and happy you look together. If you post any pictures together, like, "Ooh, did you see pile number one's boyfriend or girlfriend or person? Ooh, did you see they were together for a year now or 2 years, or they just got engaged or they just got married?" I don't know. Like, it's different for all of you, different milestones in your life, but or like they've been together for so long, they just look so happy. How does a couple look so happy together for so long? Or people just talk about how in love you look together. If you're single, people could talk about secretly admiring you from afar or having a crush on you. And if you are dating around and kind of like getting to know people, people could talk about like, "Oh, did you hear? I heard like pile number one are talking to this person. Like, I wonder if they're gonna end up dating them." We have the devil card. So again, that gossip energy is coming through, the negative vibe. Ooh, Santa Claus even just moved. um Yeah, I don't really want to focus on that energy too much, but there's your confirmation, and here we see this energy of gossiping because this little devil is whispering in her ear like, "Did you see what happened to pile number one?" It gives me that type of vibe. And lastly, we have the Three of Cups. So I feel like a lot of people find you so much fun to be around. People find you a celebration to be around. People feel really happy to be around you, especially your friendships. I'm hearing ride or die friend, you're very loyal. People love when you're very happy and giddy and smiley and excited. People talk about the fact that they're happy for you celebrating certain milestones or certain things in your life that are making you happy. It's like, "Oh, did you hear pile number one just got a new job?" As an example, I'm so happy for them. That's just an example of the energy. But that's what I see there with the Three of Cups, like people being happy for you and people talking about you like a lot, being like this very optimistic, playful person, very happy-go-lucky, where it's like you see the joy in every moment. You're like sunshine, spreading joy everywhere you go. That's how people talk about you right now. So this is your reading. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pal number twos. If you chose this green Aventurine crystal and the card Achievement with Effort Plus Intention, card number 49, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what are people currently saying about you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take or resonate to leave the rest. What I feel from your card is I'm hearing that song Glamorous by Fergie, and that song where she's like flying first class up in the sky. So I don't know, like people are definitely talking about your achievements, the hard work you've been putting into your career or into your studies or into a specific aspect of your life goal or endeavor. People are talking about the extreme hard work you've been putting in. Because when I think of the buffalo here, I think of an animal that can put in a lot more work, can go much harder or much longer than the average person. Um, so it's kind of like people are talking about your determination to get what you want. And even if it takes you a really long time to get what you want, you're putting in a lot of effort and hard work towards your goals, your endeavors, where you want to be in life. And everyone is talking about how you're able to go much more than the average person. Like, for example, let's say someone here is working a lot of overtime to make a good impression in your work, or for your boss, or let's say someone here is putting extra hours into studying instead of, just being just having fun, I guess. But like, there's nothing wrong with having fun, but people are talking about you maybe putting more focus and energy and time and effort towards what is really important to you and where you want to be in life. And even Santa moved here. So, Santa brings gifts. Maybe you're getting lots of blessings. Or people can see your potential in what they're saying about you. They can see your potential and where this could lead if you continue doing the good work you're doing, if you continue with your focus, if you continue thinking big and really believing in yourself, believing that your goal is possible and that where you want to be wants you to be there as well. Spirit is showing me Tiana from Princess and the Frog when she is wanting to create the restaurant in memory and in honor of her father that passed on, if I'm not mistaken, and how all her friends were going out partying, but she was there, in the restaurant. And it kind of gives me this vibe like you've been determined, you've been maybe sacrificing some play or some fun to get where you want to get, if that makes sense. So you have this go-getter attitude. You want to achieve things in your life, great things, and people can see you getting there. So people are talking about, if you have not already achieved something yet, people are talking about you either going to get these achievements or blessings. And if you have already gotten that, people are talking about that and how it's just so unbelievable how much hard work and effort you put in. And, I feel this energy of luxury with your pile, like people talking about how you may become someone that has a lot of luxury in your life by the hard work you're already putting in, the potential you have, and how you're just able to dream big and really focus on your goal and really go towards that in baby steps and have patience as that comes into fruition. The green Aventurine crystal is all about luck, so people may be talking about you right now as if you're very lucky. There's this energy of new beginnings and expansion here. You growing. For some reason, my nose is itching, and when my nose itches during reading, it's sometimes like scared to feel something. So I feel like as much as some are inspired by the hard work you've put in, like I think everyone sees your potential and talks about it. There are some that are scared of your potential and scared of where that may lead you to those big achievements and big luck and expansion within your life. Okay, luck within your life. So spirit guides of my pile number 2s. Some of you may actually have been drawn to pile 1 because it feels a little bit similar but not fully. It feels like another aspect of it, if that makes sense. If you're from pile 1, hi. If not, that's okay. You don't have to watch it if you're not drawn. So spirit guides of pile 2. What are people currently saying about pile 2 right now? Okay, you have 3 cards. So the first card you have is Earth Magic, Fearlessness and Removing Obstacles, card number 26. Let's just do this. And then we have Divine Masculine with Active Electric Power, card number 8. You don't have to be a man to relate to this energy. And lastly, we have Courage with Strength, Fierceness, Family, card number 2. Let's just see what your tarot cards are showing. So at the back of the deck, we have building your world, creation, expansion, networking. I said this word, so that's really cool. And we have the number 33 here. So I feel like most people are being very supportive of you and your journey and your growth and how you're building the reality and creating the reality you want to live. People are talking about you being an inspiration to people that also have, like other people that also have big goals, because it's like you have big wishes and dreams here with the Nine of Cups, and you're not letting those big wishes scare you because it's like, I'm going to have the courage to go after those big wishes and dreams and think big rather than be like, oh, it's impossible, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, I'm going to go after it. I see you having that fearlessness, and this is what people are talking about, and that's inspiring to others. We have the Nine of Pentacles. You see all these gifts from the universe. That's confirmation. Love that for you. So what are people currently saying about my pile twos? We have the Page of Swords. We have the King of Cups. We have the World card. I just want to move these cards up a little bit so there's space here. And we have one extra card I'll pull in a minute. At the back of the deck, we have the Sun. So my pile number twos, what are people currently saying about you? People are saying that you have a lot of courage within you, a lot of the strength to put yourself out there, even when sometimes people will sometimes be unsupportive of our dreams and be like, oh, that goal's too big, that dream's too big, it's impossible. You are believing in the impossible. You are believing in yourself. And most importantly, you're taking that fearlessness and not just dreaming big, but you're taking action towards your dreams with the divine masculine energy. The divine masculine energy is all about action. And when we think of energies, we all have divine masculine and feminine energies within us. You know, and divine masculine energy is that drive, it's that passion to go after and put in the inspired action towards our dreams and goals to build that reality we want to create. Because nothing is going to be created if we just sit around and wait for it. You know, it's not just going to fall in our lap. So I feel like you going after these dreams, goals, and desires takes a lot of courage because, you know, some may look at you and be like, oh, blah, 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 saying all these things because they're projecting their own insecurities onto you and projecting their own disbelief within achieving big goals and dreams onto you. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times we're taught in society to play it small, to not go after the things we want, but you are having that courage and boldness to do that, to put yourself out there, even in times like where you feel shy or where you feel anxious to take that first step or that leap. You take that fearlessness and, well, maybe you don't have fearlessness, but people are talking about you being fearless, you know, and courageous, but it's like moving towards it even with fear. That's what I see here, and how you're currently transforming your reality through this. I feel a lot of people are silently supporting you as you do this with all the beautiful hands here. It gives me the vibe of support and community. So, like, people are talking about you in a very supportive way in terms of this endeavor you're going after, this wish you're going after. People are currently talking about you not backing down, you not letting anything stop you. You're unstoppable, you're fierce, you're bold, you're putting yourself out there. People are currently talking about the fact that you're not really speaking about the things you want to achieve, but rather putting in the action towards it. You know, like you get some people that are all talk and no no action. Like, you're the opposite of that right now. And you're only talking about it after it has already transformed and come into fruition. I feel like people are talking about your wishes and goals and how, it will really transform and change your life in the most beautiful way, where all these blessings that are going to come to you, it's like, it's like, wow. People are shocked by it. People are just like, wow, how did pile 2 even think of that great idea, think of that wish? How did they even get so far? You may have had a small amount of people that didn't believe you could even get to where you are today, where they're even shocked and they're even like, what? How did pile number 2 do that? You know what I mean? And with the 9 of Pentacles, people see you receiving big blessings and gifts from the universe in this lifetime. Maybe you are someone really gifted or talented, and people see that paying you well. I guess a lot of the gossip on you is a lot of the surface level, superficial material things, but this is what people are talking about. People are talking about how you're not letting your emotions affect you or get in the way of your dreams and your desires. That's what I feel there with the King of Cups, because sometimes our emotions can be like, oh, I feel sad today, I don't want to do anything. But it's like, yes, we can honor that emotion and we can feel it and we can validate that, but then we also need to not let that stop us and not let that stifle us in some way. And that's what you've been doing. You've been like not letting that emotion stifle you. Or let's say you feel an emotion of fear of change, fear of, success, even fear of failure. It's like, although I feel that feeling, I'm not going to let that feeling run my whole life. That's what I really feel with courage opposite the King of Cups. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. So people are definitely talking about your finances right now. Like, maybe, I don't know if people know about your finances, because I don't think there's any way for them to know, but maybe people are talking about, like, the more you achieve, maybe the more money you make, or people are maybe talking about certain opportunities coming your way as a result of you going after your wishes or goals or dreams. Yeah, that's what I'm basically getting for you, and like this overall luck coming your way and bigger opportunities coming as a result of this. I still feel this element of luxury, like people talking about you as if you're going to have a lot of luxury and wealth in this lifetime. So this is all I have for you. I guess people are just talking about, career stuff, financial stuff, your goals, your wishes, and your dreams and your achievements. But I really hope this reading is resonating. And I really hope that you continue to move towards your goals, your wishes, your dreams, and desires. You're even an inspiration to me, my pile number 2s. I'm so, so, so proud of you, and I hope you continue. So this was your reading. I really hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this Howlite crystal and the Power Over Difficulty card with Reclaiming Your Power, card number 32, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what are people currently saying about you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. What I feel from your card is this type of energy of people talking about you as if you're like the Phoenix Rising. They may not use the words Phoenix Rising, but I really feel that energy from this card and this pile. Like, whatever gets sent your way, whatever challenges, difficulties, tough circumstances get sent your way, it's like you always overcome those hurdles. You always move those hurdles away from you, and people talk about you being very smart and intelligent, where you're always one step ahead, or at least this is how it seems to others. For some reason, my hand's itchy here. Like, I don't know what that means. But maybe this is the left hand, so the left hand is the receiving hand. Maybe you've received a lot of challenges within your life, like Saturn energy. Maybe you've learned a lot of lessons in this life that actually transformed you and showed you your own power, helped you reclaim your power. And I feel here you've come back home to yourself. There's something about you, like people talking about you gaining a sense of self-love and you understanding yourself on a deep level and going through some huge transformative experience where maybe you were once stuck. I'm seeing the Eight of Swords and you were dealing with lots of challenges and difficulties, but you got yourself out of that hole. Like you crawled out of that hole and got yourself out of that. And it's like you trusted your intuition, but you also remained grounded and stable through that transformative experience, if that makes sense, where you didn't let the chaos get to you. Or at least this is what people are saying. This is just their perspective. They're talking about you being someone with such a pure soul, with the two swans here faintly in the picture and the Howlite crystal you chose, how you're such a pure soul, yet they don't understand why you went through such great difficulty. But I feel like those lessons or those situations, sometimes it's not lessons, sometimes life just happens. Sometimes life just kicks us, I don't know. But you're always going to get back up and pick yourself back up, and that's what people talk about, how powerful you are, how strong you are, and how this trauma, why did I say trauma? Did you go through trauma and are you healing from trauma? I was going to say this transformative experience changed you in some way. And maybe it did. And I feel like how people talk about you currently is, even though you've had certain setbacks and delays and frustrating difficulties in your life, you've always come back stronger. And it's like you always exceed people's expectations of who they think you're going to be. Because people think of you to be someone that shows up in the world exceeding expectations. Like you do something and it looks so effortless in the way that you do it. Sometimes people may talk about you where they perceive you to be a little bit perfect or have like a perfect life, but then when they actually get to know you, they realize it's not so. They were misjudging you or misjudging your life. And that maybe it takes a lot of difficult setbacks to make whatever it is you do look so effortless and clean and put together, if that makes sense. So let's take a look at the other cards. Let me just see what else we have here from this card. I'm just closing my eyes quickly. Spirit is showing me a cleansing because I closed my eyes but I didn't see anything, but I heard my boyfriend in the other room turn on the tap, and water reminds me of a cleansing, and I feel like you've cleansed out certain things from your life, maybe certain bad habits, maybe certain toxic people or patterns or jobs that weren't healthy for you long term. It's like you reclaimed your power and you empowered yourself through what really is healthy for you long term and what really is going to pour into you and treat you good, you know what I mean? As well as you treating yourself good with self-love. So this is what people are currently talking about, like the cleansing, the healing, you empowering yourself, you coming back to self-love, this kind of transformative experience. So let's take a look at the oracle cards you are going to have. So we're using the Priestess of Light oracle deck. What is currently being said about pile 2? What are people saying about them? We have angelic assistance with divine guidance, loving support, card number 6. We have touching earth with planting something new, card number 12. So maybe something has changed in your life. There is a sense of newness in your life. Look at the angel wings here. People could talk about you being such an angelic soul, such a pure soul, with so much love in your heart, so much love to give. But I feel like when people talk about you, they say that you have so much love in your heart that sometimes because you're such a pure soul, I guess maybe you didn't like exactly see certain red flags in people because you aren't like that yourself. But I feel people talk about you having such a good heart and you being someone so loving and so open, but also being someone with such a pure soul, like you couldn't even hurt a fly. Um, but I'm really getting this energy of healing your heart and starting maybe new connections in your life or starting new jobs, starting new habits in your life that were actually healthy for you. And it seems like this tower moment, but then after that, the star moment where everything is distracting and falling down to the ground, but like whatever is distracting was meant to leave. It's like divine intervention. And then here comes the star and the healing and the hope again. And then I see like the Fool card where we're going into the new beginning, where change is happening, where a new beginning is happening, where we're meeting new people, we're opening up to new things. Like the book has ended, now we're creating a new book with new characters, where we're becoming a different version of our main character with the wisdom we've learned and with the kind of like lessons we've integrated. Now we're able to move to the next level and we're exactly where we're meant to be, and we're kind of like more intuitive, more trusting our intuition, more trusting what our body is telling us and what we're feeling. I feel like you are really intuitive and you're now trusting what your intuition is telling you about people, especially and red flags, and like trusting the red flags and leaving as soon as you see one. So I feel here maybe people are talking about you starting new healthy relationships in your life, and it seems like people are really happy for you because it seems like the difficulties you went through were just so painful that they just can't believe that you got out of that, and that you're okay now. Maybe you're not okay now, but like this is what people are saying. People are talking about how now that you're starting new healthier connections and starting a new healthier chapter of your life where you are more empowered and more grounded in your sense of self and in self-love, it's like it almost feels like a miracle has happened, like your angels have took you out of that difficult situation and helped you start something new, if that makes sense. At the back of the deck, we have precognition with psychic ability, future vision. So now we're going to use the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. So maybe some of you have started new jobs, have moved. There's an energy here of new beginnings in your life, change in your life. Okay, so spirit guides on my pile number 3s. What are people currently saying about pile 3? We have the 5 of Pentacles. So maybe for some of you, it was financial struggles or feeling like you were around people that weren't necessarily giving you that emotional support or connection you needed, or feeling very lonely or isolated or alone through challenging moments where there was no support system. We have the Queen of Swords. So these cards wanted to come out in these 3. Let's just take them. The back of the deck, we have 2 of Wands. So first card, the Emperor. For some reason it tastes like I'm tasting sand not clairvoyantly, tasting it psychically. We have the Ace of Swords. Maybe some of you write, or Maybe some of you actually spoke about the difficult moments you went through and how you maybe overcame that. I'm getting that from this pile. The sand in my mouth gives me a specific feeling, almost like I'm being buried alive. And that's metaphorical, like the situation you were in was so suffocating that it felt. Sorry about my pile threes. I kind of got interrupted there by a phone call. I had a package being delivered now. So maybe that's significant to the reading, like you were in a stuck place, but maybe something or someone helped you out in some way, or you received something like maybe guidance or support from someone, or words of wisdom or advice from someone that maybe helped you out of that situation. I don't know, it may not resonate for everyone, or maybe you helped yourself out of that situation. And here we see butterflies on her head. So since we see butterflies on her head, there is this energy of you transforming maybe the way you think about certain challenges and the way you think about your own self and about people, and maybe in the way that you speak or communicate to people or yourself. Because the Queen of Swords tells me people are talking a lot about you gaining a new sense of boundaries, gaining a sense of your voice where you're able to speak up for yourself and say no, and not feel bad for saying no, or not feel bad for speaking up for yourself and reclaiming your power in that sense. So that's what I really feel from that card. We have the Eight of Cups, so you left the difficult situation behind, which is good for you, my pile threes. You left it behind, started a new beginning. And now people are talking about you finding this newfound stability in whatever area of your life was going through difficulties. There is this newfound stability and newfound passion for life with the Ace of Wands. I'm really getting people are talking about how maybe you're also going through like a physical but also internal glow up due to the new self-love you've gained, and you haven't let challenges stop you. Maybe you've gained more optimism for life with these sunflowers. Like, even though you were stuck in a situation for a really long time, the Hanged Woman, you've gained maybe a new sense of optimism for life, or a spark for life, if that makes sense, where even if it takes a lot of patience to go towards where you want, it's like people now see you and talk about you as if anything is possible if we just believe, if we just look towards the divine, or look towards the light, or look towards the positive outcome. Anything is possible. So people are really inspired by your story, is what I'm getting. And that's what they're talking about, how your challenge was really challenging, but how you got out of it shows your power, shows your strength, and shows that anything is possible, that we can either get help out of any situation, or we can help ourselves out of that. We have the Six of Pentacles, which is interesting confirmation. For some of you, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Fool. Interesting. So definitely a new beginning is happening here. That's what people are talking about. People are talking about you looking more fulfilled, maybe having more loyal relationships in your life, or starting new loyal relationships in your life that really are a match to what you want long term, and where these newfound boundaries are integrated in your new relationships, helping you find, well, maybe not helping you find relationships like that, but it's like the way we treat ourselves and the way we kind of like, I guess it's not always true for all cases, but the way we treat ourselves reflects in maybe the way the world treats us. And when I say it's not true in all cases, I mean in cases like abuse or trauma or situations like that, that's something we cannot control. But I feel like when it comes to people in the world, like maybe treating us a certain way, the way we speak up for ourselves and the way we respect ourselves maybe influences the way they treat us. Do you get what I mean? So I see people talking about you in the sense of like, you respect yourself enough to say no now, to walk away from relationships that don't serve you, to walk away from jobs that aren't paying you maybe what you need or what you deserve, or walking away from situations that aren't giving you the happiness. Well, you're not looking for happiness in other things, but it's like if they're draining, if situations are draining, if they're challenging more than it's supposed to be, and if they're hurtful, you're not afraid to walk away from it because you respect yourself. So people are talking a lot about that. People are talking about the fact that now that you have healed your heart, or you are healing your heart, you look more fulfilled, you look more happy, you look more. I'm hearing that song Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. So you look fulfilled in some way. It looks like there is this new glow to you. There's this new era of you coming out. New main character coming out, if that makes sense. And you're being spoken about in a way where people are really inspired by your story. That's really the premise of what I'm getting here. So I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I want to say so sorry for all the things you went through. I'm sending you a big, big, big hug and so much love. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.